why you should be talking to yourself, talking with yourself. I think this is something that is not talked about enough, but I think that many people talk to themselves, but it's not really something that we do when others see it. We don't really do it in public, because that might make people think that there's something wrong with us, and it can maybe seem a little bit shameless and seem like we don't really care how people respond to us. So I get why we keep it to ourselves, but whether or not you're someone who talks to yourself in private or public, whatever, or when you're doing stuff during the day, it's actually a very healthy sign to be able to talk to oneself. It's not just about making our thoughts so that we can hear them, like speaking out our thoughts, our thought patterns, but it can also just be like rehearsing something or going over something. For instance, if you've had a certain experience with someone and going over that experience by talking it out loud. It can also be that you're talking out loud what you're feeling on that particular day. But it's all about making your inner world your outer world. So you're taking your inner world and putting it into the outer world. And I think it's a really, really good sign. It's a really, really good thing to be able to do that. Because if everything stays on the inside, it makes things more unclear in a way. So we can speak it out loud, we can make more sense of it, we can make it more conscious, we can be more aware of what is happening or why it's happening. And I think if you're someone who has a lot of worrying thoughts or just a lot of negative thought patterns, sometimes being able to speak it out loud can almost like take the air out of the balloon and make it less dramatic, less worrying, less of a problem, instead of having it always on the inside ruminating. It can bring a lot of clarity to your mind to be able to just be in a process with yourself, be in a conversation with yourself. It is not a sign of sickness in any way. It's a really, really healthy thing to be able to have a conversation with yourself. It also strengthens your relationship with yourself. Because when you become more aware of what you're thinking or what you're feeling and speaking it into existence, then that can help you become more aware of it. You can become not just a bystander to your own life, but you are interacting with your own life. You're interacting with yourself. It's almost like you're practicing to step into your higher self, into your inner true voice. You're making your inner true voice into your outer true voice. So you're almost like splitting yourself into multiple parts to be able to see yourself from a different objective. Instead of just having it all on the inside and always being always being like on the inside of yourself. When you talk to yourself and you get that out, and not just talk to yourself, but also it can also just be general expressions, whether it be like a creative expression, art in any way, but getting it out, even just by yourself, that can then make you see yourself from another perspective. So you can start to see things more clearly and see that there are many facets, there are many nuances to what is happening. It is not just inside yourself, but it's almost like having something become physical in a way, which is actually also what is happening, because your thoughts are not physical. But as soon as you speak it out loud, it literally becomes physical. It literally becomes sound waves that you can then listen to. You can listen to your own monologue. You can listen to what you're saying which is also what I'm doing when I'm making these videos or audio recordings. I listen to it afterwards, because in that way I can start to see myself in a different way. I can see myself from a different perspective. And not just that, but it's also the fact, of course, that someone else can witness it and someone else can benefit from what I'm talking about. But it's just as much something that I use for myself. So I have just taken my own ability to talk to myself and literally just put it out into the world, into YouTube. But I just wanted to make this recording because I just got to thinking about that today, that it's actually a really, really good thing. And also, if you're going through difficult things, being able to talk to yourself, that can also make that the spiraling that we tend to be in if we're going through difficult things, it's really easy to get caught up in that. But as soon as we start to express it and speak it out loud and literally just say what you're feeling, just say it out loud, even just by yourself. You don't even have to record it, you don't have to tell it to someone. It's actually just enough to speak it out loud to yourself or record it for yourself. And just the act of speaking it into existence is so incredibly healing. And something I'm also thinking about is that so many people are addicted to people. So they need to have someone they can speak to about what they're going through. You also see this in movies and TV shows that, you know, the main character always has like a best friend that they talk to about what is happening in their life. There's always someone, and it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think we also need to have that relationship with ourselves and not only rely on other people, because sometimes we also just need to express things. And when we do that by ourselves, by talking to ourselves, it is a way to make sure that you are received in a particular way. You can receive yourself in a particular way. You can make sure that you listen to yourself and that you allow yourself to finish what you want to say. If you're talking to someone, they will have their opinion, they will have their perspective, they will have their view on the situation, they will respond in a particular way, and it's not necessarily the way that you want to be received. But by talking to yourself, you make sure that you're received in the way that you need to be received in. It's a very good practice in self-compassion as well. And actually, when you think about it, in many situations, actually in movies, you will see the main character talking to themselves. You will see them, you know, going about their day in their house or whatever, and they'll talk out loud. Because even in movies, it's like somehow comforting to be able to hear the person's thoughts. They're speaking out loud what is happening, what they're going through or something. And we should be doing that as well. We should be doing that as well. It should be more normal to talk to yourself. And it's also, in a way, very unnatural to be by yourself and just be in complete stillness while you, at the inside, are like bombarded with thoughts and feelings that you're holding on to on the inside. Like, what is the purpose of that? Like, why not bring it into our existence? Because that, as I said before, can really bring the air out of the balloon and really make the whole situation more clear and more calm. It's actually not that calm to be in complete stillness and have a mind that is racing at the same time. It's more natural that we bring it out into existence, either by, you know, expressing something through art or just simply talking to ourselves, speaking about what is happening. And I think that's also why people journal, because that can be a way for them to bring that out into the paper. And then when it's out, it's like, okay, it's there. It's almost like you have started and finished the thought or the feeling by simply expressing it. You don't have to continue to ruminate about it because it's already been brought into existence.